Kevin Labadie is a painter from Baltimore who recently retired after years of teaching at MICA, the Maryland Institute College of Art. Sprawl, his exhibition at the Noyes Museum of Art in Oceanville, New Jersey, will be up through September 27, 2015. I asked him if he considers this enormous piece to be a single work of art.
Yeah, I do consider it one work. I consider it, in a way, my life's work. What started really as a lark. I just had some spare time and not a lot to do, and a little piece of wood, sitting at a breakfast table and saw an orange sitting there, and contrary to my better judgment, I decided I just sat and paint this. Next morning I got up and felt like needed a neighbor, so for the next month or so I just made it my mission to add a neighbor every day. And I was just working from left to right, so pretty soon I had a line of these things.
So what started out as a way to kill time between other projects has become quite large. I asked him how many neighbors have joined the line.
150 pieces. I think in the show there I had 114. As I saw it in my head all along, it was just one long wall. You know, I thought, wouldn't life be great if I could just find that infinite wall?
A viewer is immediately struck by the wide variety of styles all mixed together in Kevin's piece.
I put one, say, abstract painting right next to a figurative piece. I see them as often having certain analogies in their focus. They could be seen as speaking about the same idea in a different way. I've done a lot of traveling, especially when I was growing up, and style carries a certain analogy about travel and different ways of seeing the world and thinking about the world. So I find myself using style to signify that idea, I guess. My life now is really pretty sedentary. You know, we've lived in this 4-block radius for the last 30 years. My wife and I take trips every year, a 2-week trip somewhere, and I'll come back with all these flavors in my head and find myself unconsciously working the stuff into my work.
At an opening at the Noyes Museum, Kevin told me another reason for why he mixes styles.
It's probably also a funny result of teaching for many years and finding myself talking about all these different ideas with students. I have this sense that everybody's got something interesting to say, so I try to tag along with that, and I guess somehow it's kind of boomeranged back on me, and I pick up on that. It gives me a great sense of joy when I sit and have a chance to spread it out in the studio sometimes, and I'll just get a sense of life out of it. I'll look at it and say, yeah, you know, it kind of takes me back to a space and time 10 years ago, or it'll bring me up to the current time. And so I see this stretching my life out that way, kind of like a diary, I guess. But it's not quite that, because I guess I approach it more as a comedy about, well, I don't know, the unexplained and inexplicable mysteries of life.
At the end of a phone conversation, Kevin told me about his childhood and his dad's glamorous life. More than anything, this story helped me understand Sprawl, Kevin's amazing artwork.
My father was in the Navy and a pilot, and he was also a bit of an artist. He was flying reconnaissance, and he would bring home these drawings that he did, too, in pastels. Our little apartment was filled with drawings of lions and the tigers in the jungle and sampans, all these sort of exotic images, because he was in Burma in that area, worked off of an aircraft carrier. I see these images around, and I just had this fantasy. I wanted to be a pilot like that, fly all over and see the world from different points of view. So I guess this is just my way of doing it from my own little house here.